how important is it for a foreign company that is looking for funding in the Valley to actually have a presence here in the Valley?
Well, we've all said this so many times, within 25 miles or 30 miles, pick a number of where we're sitting, there is an incredible infrastructure that allows, that just eliminates a lot of the friction in starting a company, getting the money, finding the talent, finding the engineering, finding the law firm, finding the consulting firm, finding the people that will get it going. I believe that ITLG is a great vehicle to help that get going faster. And I think from an Irish perspective, I think that we've not, for a population that's known for storytelling, it's not done a very good job of telling the story of the technologies and the talent and the startups that are inherent in that population.
Emily, I'm not in the Valley. In Washington, D.C., but lived out in California for 12 years. I would say that Irish companies need to have a presence in the U.S. for one simple reason, just the scale, the access to great board members, to great engineers. But the scale is one thing that builds a company here. We have a very small island of 5 million people. And so, by definition, we have to be global. And there's a great culture here. The ITLG has done a superb job of unifying the whole network. They call it the Irish diaspora, and if I can pronounce that word well. But I think it's important for the Irish companies to come to the US, leverage the ITLG network. It's a very powerful network, as you can see here tonight. Not necessarily in the Valley, but across the US. We do have the Tyson's Corner, Virginia, 128 in Boston, Austin, besides Silicon Valley here.
As a Dubliner and UCD graduate, I owe my being here today to Ireland, and I definitely want to see Irish companies succeed in a very big way. I would say Ireland can be a great place to start a company, but I do think Silicon Valley is absolutely unique. Not, no disrespect to the other places you mentioned. They're great places too, but Silicon Valley is extraordinarily unique, and not just for the reasons we heard, but also it's just a very supportive environment. Look at the people in this room. Any one of the people in this room is a potentially great contact for an Irish company coming out here. And so I would encourage you, if you're an Irish company, by all means, base your company in Ireland, but get people out here, as the others have said, in America, and especially in Silicon Valley, even if it's only 1 or 2 people to network, tell you what's going on, plug you into the other companies, potentially recruit for you. It's invaluable, and you will not get the full opportunity to build a global company without it, in my view.
So I think the question is why, for what end, to what end? So your question was, should companies set up presence here in the U.S.? And I would ask the next question is, for what purpose? And I think the main purpose is to find large markets. And so Silicon Valley may be the right location. Presumably there's a company with employees in Ireland, Dublin, or someplace else, Shannon, and maybe they don't have to replicate the senior executive staff, but they want to find large markets, and I think having a presence in that large market is very important. So I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all. I don't think it should, by instinct, be we have to set up a presence in Silicon Valley. Maybe there's a funding strategy around that. Maybe that's sufficient reason to do it. Maybe you need to build an executive team, but I'd be very thoughtful about the purposes for which you're engaging in international expansion. I'll add one more thing, Emily, which is at Kleiner Perkins, we invest around the world. And I'd be thrilled, honestly, to find Irish companies that have a big idea focused on large markets in any of our industries, life science, green tech, or digital. And if you know of them, or if you're one of them, please come see me.
And that's actually my last question. How important is the potential to reach an international audience? How much does that play into your investment decisions?
Well, for us, it's people, technology, market, and large markets are really important. And if you're an Irish company, by definition, if you're going to find a large market, it's got to be within, but also outside of Ireland.
Yes.
Ditto.
Ditto. There's a phrase I like to use called glimmer of greatness. And there's a lot of companies with glimmers, but in order to be great, you need to be an international company.
All All right. Thank you so much. This is so fascinating. I mean, we could talk for hours, but we actually have some awards to give out. So you're relieved of your panel responsibilities. Thank you.